So Kathy Warshaw's Sisterhood Sleuths trilogy, if you've read it, you know it's this massive, globe-trotting thriller, right? You've got secret societies, ancient relics, just nonstop action.
Absolutely. It hooks you right away.
But the thing is, when we started digging through our notes, all the sources, we realized that brilliant surface plot, it's almost like a shield. Because underneath, Warshaw built this whole other thing, a complete interlocking mythic framework. It's almost like a 3-part guide to how consciousness evolves.
And that's really our mission today, isn't it? To kind of put on our literary theorist hats, maybe, and just unpack that hidden structure Warshaw created.
Yeah, forget the plot twists for a minute.
Right. We want to look at how she uses those big symbols, the eye, the seals, the enigma, as like philosophical keys. This whole trilogy, it's basically a modern take on the hero's journey, but mapping metaphysical growth.
And it doesn't really work like normal sequels where the stakes just get, bigger and bigger.
No, it's structured differently.
It feels less like book 1, book 2, book 3, and more like, I don't know, 3 acts in a play, or maybe stages of initiation. Could you walk us through those stages?
Yeah, absolutely. Think of it like climbing a mountain,
Yeah.
right? But it's a mountain of self-knowledge.
Yeah.
So stage 1, that's the first book, The Obsidian Eye. That's the awakening of vision, just realizing there's something hidden.
Okay, the first step.
Then stage 2, the 7 seals, that's the trial of meaning. Now you have to prove you're actually worthy of the knowledge you've glimpsed.
The testing phase.
Exactly. And stage 3, the end, the Swiss Enigma, is the union of memory. That's about integrating everything, the knowledge, the wisdom you hopefully gain through the trials.
Okay, so we can map the symbols right onto that. You start with the Obsidian Eye, then you move to the 7 seals, and you wrap up with the Swiss Enigma. And if we think about that philosophically, it's like AII leads to seals, leads to Enigma, which is basically tracking a journey from just raw knowledge, right?
Unfiltered data, almost.
Then moving through moral wisdom.
The what should we do with it part.
To finally reach this deeper understanding, that feels like the core idea Warshaw's chasing here.
I think that nails it. Which brings us neatly into Act 1, focusing on the Obsidian Eye.
The awakening.
The awakening of vision, yeah. And if we're thinking elements, this stage is strongly associated with Earth. It's where the Sisterhood, Chloe, Lily, all of them, they start literally grounded, feet on the earth.
Only to find out the ground isn't stable at all.
Precisely. The foundation's shaky.
And the eye itself, that artifact, it's such a perfect starting symbol. It's pure knowledge, but with no context, no guidance yet. Just that spark of curiosity that makes you act.
Yeah, it pulls you in.
But the material choice, obsidian. Volcanic glass, it's dark, it reflects. Why obsidian, do you think? Why specifically that?
Oh, that choice is brilliant. Because obsidian is a natural mirror. It forces reflection. It implies that when you go searching for the world's deepest secrets, you inevitably end up seeing yourself. And often, your darker side gets reflected back at you in what you're studying. It's like you have to face yourself before you can really know anything else.
And the setting really hammers that home, doesn't it? They have to go down into those tunnels beneath upland. That struck me as more than just a location, it felt like.
Yeah.
Like a journey into the mind itself. Is Warshaw playing with the unconscious mind there?
Oh, absolutely, yes. That's classic mythology. The hero has to descend, go underground, into the dark to find the truth. Chloe and Lily taking that plunge, that's the first step into the unknown, psychologically speaking.
Right.
So the Obsidian Eye, psychologically, it's really about the ego waking up.
Yeah.
That sudden, shocking realization that, wait a minute, the world is not what it seems. It just shatters your old reality.
And crucially, the moment that happens, the moment the eye lights up, dot bam, the society appears.
Yeah.
It shows how any move towards illumination immediately calls up its opposite, its shadow, the force that wants to keep the illusion going.
And it ties back to how we first started recording things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The eye, this primal moment of inscription, it relates to stone, knowledge carved, fixed, raw truth in the earth.
So Act I leaves you, the reader, with a pretty tough question, really. Are you willing to look, even if what you see is uncomfortable, reflects badly on you, and brings instant opposition?
It's a big ask right at the start.
Definitely sets a dark psychological tone. So, if Act I forces this inward look, how much does the stage change when we hit Book 2, The Land of Promise, The 7 Seals?
Oh, the shift is huge. We go from earth seeing, vision to fire.
Yeah.
Trial, testing, purification. This is stage 2, the trial of meaning. Knowledge isn't enough now. It has to be tested by morality.
Right.
The stakes jump from just personal discovery to proving you're morally ready for what you know.
And the seals themselves are the perfect symbols for that, embodying those 7 big virtues: faith, courage, memory, truth, sacrifice, unity, destiny. But what I found really sharp is how Warshaw shows these virtues as already corrupted by power.
That's the core insight, isn't it? Each seal isn't just a lock, it's a deep moral lesson. And the lock doesn't just get opened, it actually breaks the moment the virtue it stands for is twisted or grabbed by someone seeking power.
Ah, okay.
So, the society wanting to unlike them, that's humanity's shortcut mentality, right? Trying to grab mastery without doing the ethical work, trying to bypass wisdom.
And the setting itself becomes a moral landscape. Putting this book in Israel, the land of promise, isn't just for historical backdrop.
No, it's deliberate.
It feels like it becomes a map of the human soul, sacred geography as a kind of internal anatomy. The characters have to wrestle with these huge ethical questions against this backdrop loaded with, well, millennia of human history and conflict.
Exactly. And this is where the Sisterhood really becomes more than just characters. They become what Warshaw seems to call the living codex.
The living codex. Explain that a bit more.
Well, the Sisterhood itself, the group, is designed almost like a fractal reflection of the virtues they're trying to protect.
Yeah.
They embody the necessary energies, working together, sometimes clashing.
Okay, let's look at that because the character dynamics are key here. The main pairing, Chloe and Lily, seems pretty clear. Chloe is vision, the seer, right? Seeing the hidden patterns. And Lily is innocence, the potential for rebirth, for starting over. They're like the inner drive to look versus the hope that what's found can still be redeemed.
Perfectly put. But the others are just as vital for the whole metaphysical picture. You've got Seraphine, who embodies the shadow, but also the guardian. She does the necessary, sometimes unpleasant work.
Right. And then Yuki, providing the logic, the sort of architectural mind needed to understand these complex systems.
Don't forget the memory aspect. Thalia holds the physical memory, the history, the records.
Balanced by May, who seems to represent ethics, the moral compass, maybe even the alchemy of how change should happen.
Yes. And finally, Aoif, tying it back to Earth, the listener, the one who keeps the whole thing grounded.
So these aren't just random skills. Warshaw's showing how these different virtues, these energies have to interact, have to balance each other to stop the seals from just shattering completely.
Absolutely. If Lily's innocence isn't shielded by Seraphine's shadow wisdom, for instance, the whole quest could just collapse. It's this constant internal balancing act that underlines the big question of Act 2. Are we actually worthy of revelation?
Because opening the seals too soon or for the wrong reason
is the ultimate violation. It's breaking that delicate balance between understanding mystery and achieving mastery. It's trying to force it.
And we've moved symbolically too. From stone, that primal inscription.
The scroll. Knowledge now encoded in language, in law, in moral codes. That's a massive leap for civilization, represented right there.
Okay, so after the intensity, the fire of that trial, we move into Act 3. The Swiss Enigma Secrets of the Alps. This is integration.
Right, we're moving past solid earth and purifying fire. Now we're in the realm of transitional elements, think water flowing towards air. We're shifting from external tests to understanding these deep, internal, self-referential patterns.
And the Enigma itself is the most abstract symbol yet. It's not like a physical object they find in a vault.
No, not really.
It turns out to be more like a pattern, an intelligence woven into history. Like consciousness embedded in the record itself, almost like a self-aware algorithm.
That's a great way to describe it, and the setting is perfect. The Alps, those glaciers, the hidden vaults, they represent the crystallized memory of civilization.
Wow.
The past isn't just stored there, it's preserved, suspended, waiting to be properly reconciled with the present.
And this is where Warshaw really pushes the reconciliation of opposites. We finally get the Ouroboros symbol, that ancient snake eating its own tail on Chloe's coin. What's the significance there?
The Ouroboros is all about the eternal cycle, right? Creation consuming itself to renew itself. It represents wholeness, completion.
Okay.
And that idea that you need both darkness and light gets reinforced when she introduces the Custodes Umbrae, the keepers of the shadow.
They were fascinating. They don't just guard secrets.
No, they guard the rhythm of forgetting.
Forgetting.
Yeah. They argue that some knowledge actually needs to rest. It emphasizes the humility required for true understanding. They're the complete opposite of the society's goal.
Right. The society wants everything known.
Yeah, exactly. So the philosophical synthesis becomes clear. The Enigma represents marrying light and shadow, knowledge and humility. The real battle is between wisdom, which accepts mystery, and certainty, which demands total control.
And Warshaw seems to equate that lust for certainty with, well, spiritual death, the annihilation of mystery itself.
Precisely. It connects back to that whole metastructure of recording knowledge. We started with stone the eye, physical record, moved to scroll, the seals, codified law and language. And now we reach signal, the enigma. Why frame it as a signal?
Yeah, why signal?
Because it represents the next evolution. A signal isn't carved or written down. It's transmitted, received. It's knowledge becoming active, self-aware. History itself acting like, well, you said it, almost like an AI consciousness that responds, but only to those who approach it with the right intent, the right worthiness.
So matter to meaning to mind. That traces the whole journey.
It completes the trilogy's arc of civilization's record-keeping.
Which leaves us with the final moral question for Act 3 then. Can we actually hold truth without freezing it into dogma? Can we receive the signal without killing the mystery that generates it?
That's the tightrope walk. And the trilogy's unity really shines when you look at Warshaw's use of geometry. All those locations, tunnels, mountain passes, ice caves, they're full of circles, circular imagery.
Right, the circle suggesting recurrence. Every big revelation kind of loops back, demanding more synthesis. It feels like a closed system in a way.
It can be, but then there's the tension introduced by that final implied symbol, the horizon. That's the escape hatch, maybe. The point where the circle could potentially open up, become a spiral. It promises transcendence, endless renewal, a way to break out of just consuming the past.
So if we tie up the whole thematic journey for the listener, we started with the eye, which was about seeing, moved through the seals, which was about choosing, acting morally, and ended with the enigma, which was about remembering, integrating.
That arc tracks the human spiritual journey beautifully.
And the final message seems to be summed up in that quote near the end. We begin by wanting to know everything. We end by realizing that knowing is sacred only when shared with awe.
Exactly. The universe protects its deepest truths through story, through mystery. And our job isn't to conquer the unknown, but to become its custodian, to hold it with respect.
So the eye taught us how to look, the seals taught us how to choose, how to act. The enigma taught us what to remember and hold. If that rumored fourth book, The Horizon's Shadow, really is next, what does that progression suggest?
Well, following that logic, seeing, choosing, remembering, the next step wouldn't just be about acquiring knowledge or even understanding it.
What then?
It suggests the next stage might be about application. It might teach us how to create, to take that integrated understanding and actually shape something new from it, not just analyze what came before.
Wow, that is a provocative thought to end on. The Sisterhood Sleuths trilogy. It's just so much deeper than it looks on the surface. A really complex map for evolving consciousness hidden inside this page-turner adventure.
Definitely. And we really hope this deep dive gives you, the listener, a new lens to look through if you revisit the trilogy. Look past the plot twists, look for the metaphysics, the elemental links, that geometry of circles and spirals.
You'll find Warshaw really did build this incredible masterpiece of mythic synthesis.
Absolutely. The adventure's great, but the structure beneath, that's where the real magic is.